It's Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
Sarah, we have some single barrels on the table. What we got?
We got the Four Roses Single Barrel Collection. Well, we have the first three of the Four Roses Single Barrel Collection because these are the only three that are out right now.
It's true. It's 2025 right now.
Is it?
If you're watching it in 2026, there might be three others.
There might be three more.
That's sort of what we're guessing. So there's 10 total. There's the OBSV normal that's been on the shelf for 20 years. In 2025, celebrates its 20th anniversary of being the only single barrel from Four Roses that's 100 proof that's on the shelf regularly.
That's right.
Now we have three more. We're expecting 2026, three more of the recipes, 2027, three more.
And then that just leaves one more after that. That's kind of weird.
No, well, that's the OBSV that's already out there. Got it? With me? Same page?
I'm on the same page.
All right.
I'm all caught up.
Yeah,
wow.
That
okay.
makes 10. So that's what we're thinking. On the Four Roses site, it didn't spell that out. They could come out with 2 next year, and then
They could come out with 4. Who knows?
Yeah,
all of them.
But these came out at the same time. We expect that the other ones will come out that way in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of like while supplies last type of thing.
Right.
It took us a minute to get all three of these.
It did take us a minute. I felt like we were collecting Monopoly pieces from McDonald's or something, and we were just looking for Park Place, right? And just going to different shops like, you got Park Place? What we don't know is if this will just be a one-time thing. They'll just roll out each of these bottles one time. They release as they roll out over the next couple of years, and then they never do it again. Or if they're going to release a handful of these every year, and they'll be different because they're single barrels. Like, they're different because they're the different recipes, and they're also single barrels. So even if you collect, the OESK from 2025, maybe there's one in 2028.
It could be.
We don't know. That's
I
speculating.
really feel like they'll get all 10 recipes represented, get that out of the way. And then, now here's, as you said, the OESK it's different than the one released back in 2025.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And then, we got some favorites like OESK. I think that's one of these this year.
OESK right here.
Oh, there you go. Then you got some funky ones. You got like the F, you got the Q.
You got a Q.
It's weird. If you don't know the formula, Sarah, do you want to explain the 5 and 2?
Not to put you on the spot, Sarah, but do you want to explain this complex formula? No. Okay. So there are...
Go ahead.
Of the 4 letters, the first and the third letters stay the same. I'm not going to get into it in this video because you've obviously thrown me a curveball. They do stay the same, though. They have a connotation. I believe it has to do with the location.
The distillery who made it.
Right, the distillery who made it.
And the straight connotation.
Right, straight. That's the S. So that's always going to stay the same. Now, the second and fourth letter, here's what's going to change. It's OB or E. So it's OB and OBSF. We have an OESK right here. The B and the E denote the mash bill, right? So you have a high rye and a low rye.
Even though their low rye is pretty high.
Still pretty high.
What's it?
20% for the E and 35% for the B. I particularly find myself to be a B girl.
You're a B girl?
I'm a B girl. I tend to gravitate towards the Bs.
Yeah, okay.
Please don't use that anywhere.
Wow.
Anyway, and then the last letter, the fourth letter, denotes the yeast strain that was used, and there are 5 of those. So, 2 times 5 equals 10. That's how we get all 10 recipes, and here we are. Can you believe I know that off the top of my head? I should. Now ask me to explain what each of the yeast strains are. It's V,
Sarah,
Q, F, K, and O.
Oh, and the descriptions of what they are on the back
of the back. Isn't that handy?
We're gonna get into that. I guess we'll just start left to right. It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
These are all 100 proof. These are all, they should be the same price. As I said, we got them at 3 different stores. Ironically, the last store we found it in had all 3.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but I think we paid around $47 to $50, depending on the store we were getting them at. Let's say $48. And $99 average.
Just $48.99. Just to be vague.
Yeah. OESK, as I said, oftentimes a fan favorite in picking the barrel-proof single barrel versions out there that you see as like store picks.
Which we have been lucky enough to participate in a few of those, and that is quite the experience.
Yeah.
And one we got to do it with Al Young when he was still with us.
Yes.
And that's a memory that I will hold dearly for all time.
It is.
All right, so this is the OESK. The notes on this one are baking spice, mellow oak, tea leaves, and caramel. Now, whether or not that's what we get in the glass has a lot of factors to it.
Well, let's see about the nose first.
I get lighter, sweeter, some spice in there.
It's like a rum-y quality.
Yeah, I agree with
Rummish.
that completely. I think that might be like the baking spice and caramel.
A little like old shoe, a little like leather.
Maybe that's the tea leaves.
Could
I don't
be.
know.
Well, let's get into it. We got 3 to get through, right?
Smells like an old shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brighter on the palate.
Right, and you do get the baking spice, but it is mellow, as the label suggests. And again, I think that's because we're using the E recipe here, so the 20% rye.
Now, first bourbon of the day, Sarah, but into the chest pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it is 100 proof, and it does have a significant portion of rye in there. It's delicate, it's nice, it's approachable. It does have, I mean, it's pretty full flavored.
You take your second sip, Sarah. I'm going to ask you.
Yes, boss.
Well, and I'm going to prompt you.
Okay.
Are you getting baking spice, mellow oak, tea leaves, and caramel? Caramel's kind of a gimme.
I am getting like mellow flavors. Tea leaves, yes. It's a slight herbal note, and again, a mellow spice. It's very pleasant. It's light. What do you think?
I'm getting more leather notes,
Really?
aged notes on this.
Well, that's a good question.
I think it's the tea. Those can kind of
that like herbal
connect.
tea. It's a little bit ambiguous.
Your question was going to be about age?
It was going to be about age. You read my mind.
Don't know. They do give us some information.
Thanks, Chad.
Yeah, here to help. They do give us some information. It's from Warehouse ME, and it's barrel number 22-1H, but there is no age statement on here, much like there's no age statement on the regular on the shelf
Yeah.
OESV. I'm gonna get them mixed up.
OBSV.
OBSV. See, it's already happening.
It's okay. There's a lot to keep in there.
Yeah, it's like test day, and now I'm just all nervous.
And you gave me a pop quiz.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's okay. Did I pass? I don't know.
I think you did.
We giggled, but
I chortled.
I chuckled. I chortled.
I chortled. Let's move on, because
time.
So we're moving on to the OESO Warehouse NN, and it's 17-2E. If you couldn't tell, I think it's probably pretty obvious.
Obviously.
Airy linen, clean sheets.
That's such a good note.
Thank you.
It smells like when you clean the house and wash the sheets and you just did laundry and you open up the windows and it's spring and it's like just the perfect temperature where you can just let the windows be open. And it's a sunny day. So that's what I call an atmospheric note.
Oh, I'm getting the weirdest, and this is the thing I love about bourbon. I'm getting the weirdest sense memory. Back when I was a kid and I had He-Man action figures. They're action figures, Sarah.
Not dolls.
Not dolls. There's, I forget his name, but he was one of the bad guys, and he was a skunk.
Oh.
And they actually put something in the toy where he was supposed to smell bad. I thought he smelled great. And it was mainly just a mix of plastic and whatever harmful chemicals, I'm sure, because it was the 80s. They put on this toy to smell like a skunk. But
I love that you're comparing the nose of this whiskey to a skunk.
it didn't smell like a skunk. It was an action figure.
I'm telling Brent Elliott.
I'm taken back to smelling my skunk He-Man action figure. That's not bad.
That's
good.
a uniquely you note that no one else will ever be able to have.
And playing with them
And I love that.
in the yard, because I'm getting a little bit of
Outdoorsy. Okay.
outdoorsy, again, that
I see that. There is a
linen sheet on the old-timey drying rack. Clothesline.
I get a little
That's a
bit
great
of
note.
floral
Yeah.
in there. Let's see what the label says. It says...
Do we want to wait till we
Okay.
get it on the palate?
Let's do it.
So you got the gun.
Also faint spice.
Yep.
A bit of berry.
Well, yeah.
Toasty brown sugar. A little bit of... and toasted oak. Or oaky char.
A little cereal.
Tiny bit of cereal.
Cinnamon and cereal. A little cinnamon toast crunch.
Cinnamon toast crunch.
A little bit.
Just a teeny bit.
No amberana
Like
here.
cinnamon life. Yeah.
Cinnamon life. Yeah, there you go.
But I get a berry note on this one and faintly floral.
Oops, all berries? No, just
Not
faint.
all berries.
Just faint.
Oops, faint berries.
Oops, faint berries. Oh, sorry.
Okay, are you getting rich red fruit, vanilla, brown sugar, and delicate oak?
I don't know if I'd say rich, but I am getting fruit.
Okay.
What was the next one?
Vanilla.
Yes.
Brown sugar.
Yeah, brown sugar more in a cinnamon mix, but yes.
Yes. And delicate oak.
Delicate oak. Less oak than previous.
Oh, I don't know. I might disagree on that one. Just a little bit.
Well, okay.
It's different.
Let me clarify. I was getting more leather than I was
Oak.
I'm getting more oak, yes.
Like a charred oak.
Less aged characteristics on this one.
Okay,
fair
enough.
More on the last one.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I like this.
I too like this.
So both of these
again, the yeast strain on this one is an O. This is an OESO. I like the O's because of that rich red fruit. I like the V's also, but this is terrible. The OBSV that's generally available on the shelf, I understand why they picked that one as their staple because I think the V's are a crowd pleaser. There's just no way around it. There's no way around it.
Everyone loves a good V.
Okay.
No, I was just thinking OEO. OESO.
And for anyone wondering, I wish I could hold up a newspaper for you, but the time of filming, this is, may I?
Yeah.
At the time of filming of this episode, it is 11:01 a.m. on Wednesday, April 30th. In case any of you are out there wondering what day it is, I wish I could hold up a newspaper for you to believe.
But they don't exist anymore.
Well, they do, but there is a little bit of a tobacco note on that.
Yeah.
Like a red fruit, tobacco, oak. I like it.
So far, these two have tasted of a older age. I know when things are non-age stated, we tend to think, oh, well, it's probably, just above the minimum of 4 to not get an age statement out there. But I feel like
I don't think that.
Not always, but the skeptic in us.
For sure.
These are ballpark at 8 to 10. They're probably not, but that's what they're tasting like.
It's tasting around 8. Yeah. That's what I would say.
All right, well, before we go on to the third one, we want to hit pause, tell you about our home on the internet. It's whiskyambitions.com. It's where you can get the t-shirt and hat combo that I'm wearing. These 3 Glencairns that we're drinking from. We also have a lot more t-shirts and hoodies and sweaters and bottle cut candles, elemental elixir, cocktail syrup, more that's always coming soon at whiskyambitions.com.
And if you want to become a patron, you can become one at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight and join our community for as little as $1 a month. I'm clearly not on it today. And that is where you get access to our barrel picks. We're currently trying to book another Russell's pick. Hopefully we get 2 bottles like the past few times. That'll be really exciting. Yes. Lots more coming out soon, and you get discounts on that merch depending on your tier. And you get the inside scoop from us and more. And look at all of them. I mean, wow, they're just the best. I just don't know what else to say about them.
Look at them, they're the best.
No, look at them, they're, wow, look at them. They're some really fine folks, and I will just say that I've appreciated them a lot lately. And I'll leave that there.
All right, well, we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back. OBSF, so now we're finally switching to that B.
The B.
We're getting the 35% OBSF.
Which, for these being the first taste of the day, the 20% rye is, I feel
it's working.
It works. It works.
Warehouse NS, for those wondering, 13-6H. Not going to read the back of it yet.
Let's not.
Let's nose it, get it on our palate, and then I'll do that.
The crazy thing is, I love this line because I think it really illustrates how different each of these recipes are, and it demonstrates why they do what they do. Like with the 10 different recipes, the 2 different yeast strains, or the 2 different mash bills and the 5 different yeast strains. Because each of these is its own unique personality.
Furniture. Lemon
pledge.
Furniture. Not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way.
But that's the memory that comes out.
It smells like antiqued wood and lemon which
pledge.
Make me think lemon pledge.
Now, no one's gonna put that on their hang tag, but come on.
We'll call that, antiqued wood.
Antiqued wood. There you go.
With a light citrus note.
A light citrus orchard.
Citrus orchard. A breezy citrus.
There you go. That they'll put on their neck tag. All right. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Which I feel like carries through the palate.
Honey. Honey sucks.
Honey. Question mark? Who put a question mark in the telebrum?
Yeah. Honey.
Antiqued wood.
Yep.
Lemon. Honey. A little bit of spice, but more like pepper or clove, not cinnamon like the other one. That's what I get.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's a fair one. A boozy Honey Nut Cheerio.
Yeah. All right, second sip here.
Oof.
Sarah.
That kick from that 35% rye.
The first note is an interesting one. Sarah, are you getting delicate rye?
It is. I mean, the other 2 didn't say that, so
right.
I am getting rye spice. Delicate in comparison to What?
What? Rye whiskey?
Right, correct. That's all relative.
Are you getting delicate rye, apple, mint?
We said orchardy citrus.
Clove.
Clove, I said clove.
And cocoa.
No,
not
so much on the cocoa.
That's the only one where I'm like, straight up not getting it.
And the mint, I would just pair that in my mind is with the rye.
Yeah.
I'm not really getting minty. I am getting the clove though. And I thought, like I said, antique wood and citrus.
Yeah.
Or some orchard fruit.
Yeah. Cocoa, maybe if we let it sit here on the palate for a good minute, maybe that might start coming out, but I'm not getting that yet at all.
I don't see that, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. Maybe those are just characteristics of that specific yeast strain.
Could be. Okay, well, you know what's weird is so far, I think I have maybe preferred the 20% rye, the bees. The E's is what I said. I said it, you all heard it. Just to this one particular bee.
Okay.
But we do have a fourth. That's the one that's been on the shelf for 20 years.
I think we should. I think it's fair to bring it into
this
the
one isn't
conversation.
20 years ago, but it is not the most recent label update. But if you want to bring it in, Sarah, we've got a fourth glass.
Welcome to the stage.
Yeah, everyone, please welcome.
Oh, which way are we going on the end? OBSV.
OBSV. Okay,
That's
good.
right.
So this will be two E's, two B's.
Right? Where does it say that? It says it somewhere.
It doesn't anywhere.
It doesn't?
No, it's only on the...
Oh, it's only for those of us in the know.
Yeah. Where this one doesn't have what these have, the description on the back, I do have it pulled up here on the website.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right, the tried and true Forbes single barrel, again, not advertised as the recipe, never has, but it's OBSV. So we're in that 35% rye mash bill again.
Wow. I feel like it's muted compared to the
Yeah, I
others.
was thinking the same thing.
Well, but these have also been sitting out, and we just poured that one.
But this one has been opened.
That's true.
Not a
It
whole
has
lot
been
out
opened.
of it, but fruit and also
Apple pear.
a little bit of wood. Not really the lemon pledge
No.
thing, but
All right. Well.
oh yes, that old chestnut, that old standard.
Very familiar. Slightly spicy, fruity.
I feel like this one stands on its own. The cheese stands alone. It's not in the same department store as these three. It's like
Really? So you think if I put them in a blind, you would be like, "This is
oh heaven.
heavens no.
Heavens no, Sarah, don't do that to me. But right now I'm just like, I mean, I don't know, maybe not. It's like you're a different label than these. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because it's clearly visually different. I want to taste through them all again.
Perfume.
It is, yeah, it is perfumey, fruity floral,
Uh-huh.
fragrant.
And I'm not maybe getting as much punch as I am on these. They're all four of these are 100 proof, but
Yeah. What are the notes?
oh yeah, the notes.
Oh yeah.
It's your turn, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it's my
it's
turn
my
to
turn.
ask you.
Okay.
Well, you already saw them.
It's right there. Well,
Okay.
I don't retain things.
Are you getting rye spice,
Yes.
apricot, pear, cinnamon, and toasted oak?
Well, cinnamon, yes.
I got pear. I got like apple pear.
Apple pear. And
This
then
is apricot pear.
apricot pear. I could see it. What was the last thing you said?
Cinnamon and toasted oak.
Toasted oak. Yeah. This one is a little toasty. It's a little toasty. It's definitely toasty in the chest. What about you? You getting that stuff? What you getting?
I for sure am getting the rye spice and the pear. Those two things are kind of, it's like, yeah, fruity floral, rye spice, a little bit of oak. But yeah,
Okay.
fairly on point.
I dig.
I want to determine which one I like the best. Who wins the nose game?
I have my winner.
Well, I will say I think the OBSF has the most powerful nose. It is the strongest nose. But my favorite nose is between, I'm torn between these two. Upon first revisit, as soon as I picked up the OESK, I was like, yeah, it's this one. Which reminder is baking spice, mellow oak, tea leaves, and caramel. It's between that and the OESO.
Yeah. Well,
All right, now to taste.
palate. Man, that's different now.
It
Flight
is.
fight effect.
It is a flight fight effect. I do get more of the tea leaves. Yeah.
Same. This is a flight fight, Sarah.
It turned into
have
one. Look at us.
Made this uncorking into a flight fight.
You just never know what's going to happen sometimes.
No. Ooh, that's good. The honey citrus. Yeah. Little slight tropical. Oh dang,
Ooh.
that's got the older notes. like the same as the OESO.
I just realized it says it right there, so that's
Oh,
nice.
good God.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I was like, this whole time?
The whole time. Ooh, but definitely more rye.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it's a B.
It's very difficult because they're all great in their own respect. What a great project for Four Roses. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah. Wow, it's not apples and apples. These are, you're an orange, you're an orange, you're an orange, and you can't compare oranges to oranges, right? And you're an orange.
Okay.
You can compare apples to apples, but you cannot compare oranges to oranges. Shoot, I don't know now.
You know what? Ah, man, they're all really good. But upon revisiting, I'm gonna have to say the OBSF is my favorite. I really thought it was gonna be the OESO, but it is the OBSF. They're all really good though. I just like those fruity notes between these two. Like, oh, those are so good. But again, it's all, preference, and I really like this lineup because it allows you to kind of do a little research and either do some discovery on your own, and it would be really cool if a bar had all these to be able to do a flight and kind of discover your own preference, and that helps you inform your purchases, right?
I think I'm gonna have to do the same, Sarah. I think it's the OBSF.
I think it's the OBSF. Yeah. Close.
So close.
Such a close race.
So close.
I think it would be really fun to do a progressive pairing or dinner or something, some sort of tasting of Alton recipes once they all come out.
In 2 years.
Whenever.
2.5 years. You'll be able to do that. I guess you can do it now if you can collect all of the single barrel proof.
Well, don't they have that kit? What is that kit?
Well, that kit, yeah, they're 50 mils though, so it's hard to.
You would have to buy one per person,
and
which
it's
is
104 proof on those. And yeah,
so not quite the same.
You would have to buy a lot. I feel like this is definitely much better.
Would be the better value
than that kit.
If you could get a group to go in on it and split it up and do like a dinner or tasting or something. I think that would be really cool once all these come out.
Yeah.
Or as we've done with LBS, and you can see the Beat Brent Elliott episode.
Brent Elliott, yeah.
We got to do some blending activities with them all.
Barrel proof.
With the barrel proof samples.
But you know what? These have all been 100 proof, and I'm not like, oh, I wish they were barrel proof. Like,
I agree.
I'm happy.
We have said for a long time that this is like a sleeper, a shelf sleeper. Like people, I think, overlook it, and they shouldn't.
Yeah. Wow. Long episode.
Long episode. Sorry about that. Not really, but.
But yeah, there we go. That's where we better leave it. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to us already, you can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here. Hope to see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Shad.
Okay. Until next time, drink a lot of Four Roses.